actually, speaking of houses, I had a question for Rachel specifically.
Yes.
Which was everybody else's like moniker I know. So Anna's patron is Anwar, the sorcerer of the Whispering Cowl. Jen's patron is Petrov, the prophet of Teotihuacan. And Neil's patron is Valerie, the queen of the seven schools. Your patron is named Kara, but do you have a moniker of that style?
No, Kara's kind of just an employee. Her patrons technically are her parents because they pay for everything and fund her adventures.
Well, maybe
she's
Kara
working on that moniker though, so she's kind of been throwing a couple out.
Yeah, exactly.
She's trying to see what
Just wanted
sticks.
to make sure that I had it all recorded correctly.
I can tell you her failed monikers. There was Kara of the Great Hair, didn't really catch on. Kara, Smeller of the Great Smells. People really misinterpreted that one, brought her a lot of stuff to smell. She was trying to convey how good she smelled. It's a workshopping thing that we're going to establish.
I love it. Fantastic. All right, good. I just wanted to make sure I had all of the information written down. Let's see. I hope jillion tabs open on my computer, and I don't need all of those, so I'm going to close them. All right, good. Go away. Go.
What
good.
strength of character? I can never close tabs.
Oh yeah, I have 3 instances of Chrome with multiple tabs each going right now. I'm not proud of it.
Then you open Firefox to get a fresh start.
Yeah. I always get this like feeling of such relief when I accidentally lose my tabs, like the computer updates or something, and I'm like, okay, I'm free.
Jess uses, I think, an extension called OneTab or something like that, where you can like save all of your tabs in basically a bookmark, where if you click the bookmark, it opens all of those tabs that you had saved. And so she'll like close, like 50 tabs and then like start a new page and open like 30 new tabs and save that in a group and then like go back to the original and open it all back up.
Wow.
So it's like actual like good massive number of tabs management. And I am the killer of tabs. I like never have more than like 8 open. And
Yeah, same.
With relentlessness.
Yeah, me same. I like the most I have is like 8, and when I close my PC every night, because I do, then they're
You
gone
don't turn
forever.
your PC off?
Yeah,
Yep.
I do.
I haven't turned my PC off since 2009.
I turn my PC off, but Chrome just opens up your tabs again once you open it again.
But I manually close them every time I close my PC. I'm like, goodbye. Goodbye.
Click.
No, man, I have like, okay, I have a tab open because I need to pay a medical bill. I have a survey that I sent out for feedback. I have 2 Etsy tabs and an Amazon tab because I was going to buy them but wanted to think about it. So now I'm thinking about it for like 12 days. Like we're getting there.
Amazing.
Maybe we thrive in chaos,
That's a real thing. People do that. So,
Jen, what's your house name?
Oh, it's... Oh my...
I just looked it up. It's House of
like,
Reckoning.
Thank you. I was forgetting.
House of Reckoning.
Yeah, of
Kill.
course it is. It makes a lot of sense.
All right, so friends, let me take a look at our episode agenda today. So yeah, last time you sailed beneath the starless sea, faced the Chaos Lord atop the ziggurat beneath the abandoned keep, and were washed out down the river and along out to sea. Let's see, what's the name of that river? I think that I wrote that down somewhere. Yeah, Phlegm. F-L-E-M. The river Phlegm.
Ew.
Fantastic. So, picking up basically exactly where we left off last time. So we are going to be starting a new adventuring arc this session. How many of you are there now? There's like 9? 3, 6.
I got 3.
79. Are there actually 12?
We did really good. Like, we were all supposed to die, and then we didn't.
It looks like Kai is dead.
That's okay.
I think that 2 of you have 3 and 2 of you have 2, but we can just double check.
I think Lucky Joe is also dead. I just have Fran the horse lady
Yes, I
and
think
Babs.
so.
Yep, Lucky Joe, 0 hit points. Farewell, Lucky Joe. Down into the graveyard with ye.
Maybe Joe is the lucky one.
And then little Jimmy, also dead.
Aww.
Let's see, we can go back to the landing page. We can repopulate our graveyard now. Yep, Lucky Joe. Right, little Jimmy has passed, right? Which means that Sky is the only one left for you, Neil. Is that true?
Is that true?
Maybe.
Let's see.
I'll believe
Sky-
you.
Kai also has 0 hit points, and little Jimmy definitely is sitting at 0 right now.
Well,
You have 1.
thank God.
I guess that makes today's decision easier
Oh
for
no,
you.
sorry.
Oh?
I'm actually totally incorrect. I think you have Sky and little Jimmy remaining. Little Jimmy. was
You're
showing
right.
at
You're
0.
right. He was rolling much better than he should have been.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then
Once
it's Kai who is dead. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So goodbye, Kai.
I just noticed little Jimmy's picture. Like, he's nothing like I imagined. Little
Looks a little
Jimmy
different.
is basically like Khal Drogo, but in my head, he's like a very pale looking child.
Paul Drogo had to start somewhere, you know?
He was just pale in his youth. All right, fantastic. Then this is the proper representation of who we have. We have 9 characters remaining. So the 9 of you are still on the deck of your new sailing vessel, which is operating under its own power, right? Like it sails sometimes where it will, and sometimes the 9 of you can sort of like get together and wrestle your willpower in order to sort of like direct it. Eventually, after a time, you spend some days at sea, some like week or 2, something like that. You're subsisting off of the rations that you had in your bags, and like occasional seabirds that you're able to bring down, or fish that you're able to fish up. After a week or 2, the ship begins to respond to your communal demands and desires, and eventually, with tides, time, and some luck, the 9 of you are able to direct this vessel to return to the city great, the port city of Lothpertinence, also called Eminaxes. So this city is just a huge, sprawling, industrial place on sort of like on the river delta of the River Phlegm. So it like spans. There's a whole bunch of bridges that span, canals and things. And there's a large river thoroughfare that sends ships out into sea. And the port of the city is directly on the sea itself. So as you're sailing back to the city, how do the 9 of you approach the city? Where do you anchor or dock your vessel? And maybe most importantly, have you named your ship yet?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
I know that Jen's going to be really excited about this.
There's so many ship puns, but we already used a lot. Like, I remember we used the friendship, we used the viewership.
Wasn't there one that was like Bananars? Well, why
Yeah.
did we name our ship Bananars?
I don't know. It doesn't have ship in it, so I'm very confused.
What about the companionship?
Yep. The
It's not bad.
companionship, the relationship.
Is there something else? Something wild we're not thinking of? I feel like we can find a better name.
Yeah, maybe chat will help us.
Yeah,
so let's
I
give it
feel
a
they
few
might.
minutes and
Yeah.
chat if you have good ship puns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw it
This
out
kind of
like-
represents, I guess, the conversation on the boat of us trying
Yeah.
to name it. Because Dunatush keeps insisting that it's a boat, and everyone else keeps correcting her that no, it's a ship, because if a boat can go on it, that makes it a ship or something. I don't know. I'm sure you've been subjected to this lecture too, but
Is that what it is?
if it's a ship, it can carry a boat on it or something.
I think realistically, I think that this ship could. It isn't right now. There are no lifeboats,
No dinghies,
extra
no.
boats or anything, no dinghies. But it's like a 2-master. There's like a small foremast and then a large mid-mast. So like it's definitely like a seafaring vessel, but it's not like the largest. It's not like a merchant vessel or anything like that. It's comfortable for the 9 of you, but it might be a little more comfortable with one less, and it might be significantly less comfortable with one more.
Well, speaking of more, on our way out, were we able to pick up the goat and the horse that we tied up at the mouth of the cave? No, we can't leave them tied up there forever.
Not at all. Perhaps
Okay.
they have made their way back to Oakwell.
Fran is gonna jump off the boat to go get them. Fran is loyal to her profession. I forget the name of it, but it deals with horses. And she's just like, no, hell if I'm going to leave that horse behind. And she's just going to go.
So, I think as Fran has realized here 2 weeks later that she has abandoned her precious animals, and she begins to run off the edge, all of a sudden the boat lurches. It just keels over hard and turns around, carving an arc in the waves, responding to your great need to return and find your companion animals.
Wow. I mean, I was ready to let Fran disappear into the sunset for that. That's how much I cared about it. But if the ship's following, then great.
Yeah, absolutely. The ship listens to you for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, and you carve a path towards the city grate, and instead of diverting yourself into the man-made bay that is sort of protected by breakers and stuff like that, you actually veer to the side and sort of carve your way through the center of the city and begin sailing your way up the river. So just to give you an idea of what the city looks like as you're passing through it, and then I see that Jen has a number of chat suggestions for ship names, which I can't wait to hear.
Yeah,
let me tell you a little bit about Loth Pertinence, the city grate. It is the biggest city ever. You've never seen anything like it in your entire lives. It's there is an amount of city equal to Oakwell Hamlet, or wherever your home is, those of you who are not originally from Oakwell. And then there's that much again, and a third time, and a fourth time, just mind-boggling. It almost looks like the horizon is curving upwards because there's so much city for you to see. There are many districts in Loth Pertinence. I'll name a few of them, but really any type of space you can think of in this city, you could go find it. There's the Docks district, which is in the northeast of the city, is where it borders the sea. These are stinky, muddy shipyard district where ships are anchoring in the bay and the dock for loading and unloading. And there are many, many warehouses and large carts and horses and big simple machine cranes and pulleys in order to load stuff on and off of the ships. You sail continuing up away from the coast through the runnings, which are the impoverished slums filled with gambling dens, thieves' guilds. There's a major prison that makes its home in the runnings. You occasionally sort of cut across, or you cut under a bridge, or wind your way through the city. And a number of times there's this path that crosses the River Phlegm, and you can see that it's this twisty, winding, narrow path lined by temples on all sides. This is called the Path Cults. As one of the major drawbridges raises to let you past, you can even hear some doomsday prophet bellowing out his statements of certain doom, and how a ship sailing of its own accord is one of the major visions of his prophet's disaster, etc. You sail through the Iron District, which is where all of the merchants and craftsmen are, and the sound of hammers and the sound of bellows breathing their fire meets your ears. This area is a little more upper class. It has more refined storefronts. There are more people going shopping, which is not a thing you would see in these other districts. And sort of off in the background, as you leave the city, you can see South Hill, which is beautiful, just covered in greenery and parks. And this is the wealthy businessmen and lesser nobility. sector of town. You leave the city great behind and sail your way up the river. I think it's like 8 or 10 hours of straight sailing up the river until you reach sort of the like fork in the river where the river Flem is very large and is fed by many tributaries. The tributary off to the left is the one that was flowing from the keep. You remember looking up in this cavern. Anyway, the ship keels over and makes a hard turn into that fork, and then it continues turning. The shore is swiftly approaching, and then with just a raking grind, it shoves itself halfway up out of the river onto the bank and just keels over onto its side. Flop.
Whoa.
I have such
hear
a
the
clear
sound of,
mental
like-
image, an auditory image of this, because the few times that Anna and Jen and I played Sea of Thieves, this is exactly how we park our boat.
Fantastic.
It is.
Usually
It
with a
is.
lot
As the
more
boat-
screaming at each other, though.
Yeah.
As the boat keels over onto its side, you hear the sound of oars just like tumbling across inside the deck. And as the 9 of you climb down, Jen, let's hear some suggestions for what this ship might be named.
My chat has some good ones, too.
Yeah,
let's
I have
get it.
one really strong, but I'll still work my way through all the suggestions because it won't be too long. There's the stewardship, the friendship, the penmanship,
The penmanship?
yeah, the bullship, the mentorship, and the patronship.
Oh!
Yeah, that one is pretty accurate.
And Anna, what about your chat?
We've got, let's see. Where did it start? We have also the friendship, but as Jen said, we've used that one before. The apprenticeship, the
Yes.
fellowship, the hardship.
Yep, I've got hardship in my
Yeah.
chat also.
I think that's all of them.
Oh wow! I got from left field. Dear Justin Grindle has gifted us the Unsinkable 2, and yeah, boy. just a little different stuff, you know.
Okay, I've got, I think I see
I forgot the full of ship.
full of ship.
Yeah.
We've got a number. We've got Dark Vigar with the stewardship, Doc Ace with I Ship It, Archaic Soul with Barship and the Unsinkable 3. I'm not sure why we've got Unsinkable 2 and Unsinkable 3, but excellent. Courtship, internship. Taking a slightly different tack here, we've got License to Keel and Lordship. I think those are the ones. From
Wow, if we're talking about like shipping it, what if we call it OTP?
Yep.
D.
I like the internship as well. There's a lot of good options in there.
Mhm.
How about we share the ones that stood out to us and all the ones that were named?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a
Should-
new one in my chat, censorship.
To me, I did really like the hardship.
Yeah, me too.
I also like the patronship because it feels very on brand. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
the hardship has a charm to it.
I dig the hardship.
Down for that.
Neil.
I'm not allowed to name boats anymore, so I'm just gonna let you guys do this.
Phil, do you remember where Bananars came from?
It's a vague.
Oh, I know what it
memory.
was. It was NARS, not a real ship. I don't remember
Yes!
why.
Yes. Yeah. No.
And then we
it was not a royal ship.
Not a royal ship, because we didn't want to
Yeah.
get attacked if we were, yes. And then
'Cause
we had
we
to change the
yes.
name because we got in trouble. So we were like, now it's called Bananars. No one will notice.
Yeah, because we stole a royal ship and we knew that was illegal, so we named it the not a royal ship so that people would know it wasn't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was very smart of us.
Yes.
Yeah. I also remember Neil's attempts to name things in that universe. It was grand. There was a stony muscle. There was.
Oh yeah,
there
they
was
all had innuendos, all of them. Every single one.
Unintentional. I did not
I
mean
know.
to, and that's why I'm keeping my mouth shut right now.
And that was it. It was so good because of that. Because every time you were like, okay, that's the name. And we're like,
I didn't think the stony muscle was weird in any way, or the swift swallow. I was thinking birds. You know it.
Of
I
course.
see what you guys mean.
I don't understand, Bill. What else could it possibly mean?
I didn't think of anything until these two.
Until all of us started laughing at you.
Amazing.
So pure,
Alright.
so sweet.
so I guess the hardship.
Yeah, the hardship. Which, by the way,
Yeah, I know. I thought about it too.
Appropriate.
yep, on theme.
Fantastic. So the 9 of you disembark from the hardship, and I think as it's Fran, right, who wanted to run back for her
Yeah.
animals?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. As Fran like leads the charge, running, you have to walk quite a ways. You're actually quite far from the keep, and you can see, looking at this tributary, that there's much less water in it than there was before. Your ship would actually not have been able to sail all the way up it. So you've probably got like an hour of swift march ahead of you. But before we get all the way to the collapsed and ruined keep, it's time to do leveling up.
Woo!
So, who wants to start, and why is it Fran?
I mean, yeah, that.
Sweet. So, Fran, I see here written on your character sheet that you are going to be a rogue,
Yes.
which in DCC is normally called halfling, but we've decoupled species and class for pawns and patrons. So any species can be a rogue, which is the halfling class. And Fran is a human, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So let's go ahead and put rogue under class here. The first thing, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and get the quick guide to leveling up. I'll grab that link and drop it in our Zoom chat so that you can all go ahead and look at that while we're doing this. Bang. So, as a reminder for how we're doing XP, you're going to get XP for surviving encounters, regardless of how you accomplish the survival of the encounter. You're going to get XP for slaying significant, serious threats. Think of this as like your motivation to kill end bosses, like the Chaos Lord. And you get 1 XP for every 100 gold pieces that you spend or give away in taxes. So you'll have to keep track of how much money you're spending. XP is cumulative, and a 0 level player has no XP and does not earn XP. When a 0 level player survives an adventure, they gain 10 XP and they level up. So first things first, for everyone, go ahead and under the XP tab of your sheet, which is next to level and below speed, everybody write 10.
Yay!
Ta-da!
Yay!
For just one character, right?
All characters, all of your surviving characters
I do
are
have a
permitted to
question.
level up. Yeah.
Considering that we'll only bring at most 2 characters today on the adventure, I wonder if we shouldn't pre-select how many adventurers we want to bring so that we can just do the ones we're bringing.
Yeah, if you have the
Well,
luxury of having that many characters alive, sure.
Feel free to think about it. I think for things like this, where you're just literally writing the number 10 on the character sheet,
Yeah,
like,
yes, of course.
just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, if it's taking a while, we don't actually need to level up all the characters.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it'll definitely be important for Fran. Let's make sure we start with like our priority characters and then go on from there, and we'll figure it out. Make sure that you update your level, which is to the left of XP, to be 1 instead of 0, as it is right now. And then we've all rolled HP. We did that last time, so that's great.
Did we already add that? I guess
Pretty
we did.
sure that we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, we did. I
I
had
still only
1.
have 3 and 5.
I
but-
have 3. Yeah. But
There you
that's
go.
done, yeah.
Them's the breaks.
Yep.
So we need to roll for alignment. So Fran, go ahead and roll 1d10. So a 1 through 2 is lawful, a 3 through 8 is neutral, and a 9 or a 10 is chaotic. So Fran the Horse Lady is chaotic. And just a quick word about alignment in this game. Like, alignment isn't like your morality in DCC RPG. It's like your fundamental allegiance to the eternal struggle beyond the realm of mortals. Alignment isn't a thing people choose, it's a thing that they are, and changing your alignment is arduous and potentially dangerous, but it can be done. And if in the course of your zero level adventure you had a major experience in accordance with one of the previously stated alignments, say, for example, if you donned the regalia of a chaos priest and subjugated a chaos kraken, then you may, at your choice, simply choose that alignment instead of rolling.
Makes sense.
So, go ahead, the rest of you, roll 1d10 for the alignment of your primary character. So 1 or 2 is lawful, so Jen, lawful. 8 is neutral, Anna. Neil, 10 is chaos.
I have a lawful Agnes and a neutral Dune Touche.
Killer. And you rolled for that previously, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I also rolled already, so I have a lawful stretch today and a chaotic. Well, she earned chaotic, red
You
rare.
bet.
And I rolled chaotic for Growl of Bless, which kind of works out really neatly.
Cool. I love it.
I rolled
Yeah.
neutral for Babs,
Awesome.
which fits. She's chill with whatever.
And then, Fran, you are going to be a rogue. So you can all see down here under step C, choose a class and record your class features. So let's just take a look through rogue real quick. At the very end, that's in the PDF reader of the rulebook. That's page 63. So you're going to need to read and record your class features. So, for example, weapon training. Let's take a look at that. Page 63. So, rogues prefer to battle with a weapon in each hand. A rogue is trained in the use of the club, crossbow, dagger, hand axe, javelin, short sword, sling, and staff. Rogues usually wear armor. It's much safer, you know.
So what is it? Sorry, I'm still finding page 63. Where am I recording these things?
Let's see. So let's see. For the record, each of you should look down at the bottom of your character sheet, and you'll see a whole bunch of little like selection pips. Rogue is halfling, so click the halfling button there, Anna.
Yeah.
And
Done.
then, yep. That looks like that. Sure. Where would we record that? I do wish that this character sheet had just like a spot for recording. It might be wisest to just click edit and like put it under bio, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just like write it in equipment and just be like weapon training, this list of weapons.
When you say page 63, you mean
Yeah.
probably the PDF page, not the book page.
Exactly.
Huh?
PDF
Yeah, there we
page
go.
63, the actual
The book page 63 is art, so I was
Yeah.
a little confused.
It's like book
Interpret it, Anna.
I think.
Okay. So I can basically just copy paste this info into my bio.
Exactly.
Cool.
Club, crossbow, dagger, and axe, javelin, short bow, short sword, sling, and staff.
So those are just weapon proficiencies, right? It doesn't mean we have them.
Correct. Yeah, these are the weapons that you can use without penalty.
Does someone else want to go while I work on transcribing?
Sure.
Who do
We
you want to
can
level up,
do
Jen?
Stretch Dude.
And what is
Zal.
Stretch's class?
Stretch is a spell sword.
Spell
It's
sword.
an elf, but not really.
Yeah, aka elf. Fantastic. So spell sword, weapon training, dagger, javelin,
Yeah.
lance, longbow, longsword, short bow, short sword, staff spear, two-handed sword. Ta-da! Elves or spell swords often wear armor of mithril, even though it affects their spell casting. Elves, as in if your species is elf, you will have a sensitivity to iron, and you will be able to freely acquire one piece of mithril weaponry and one piece of mithril armor.
Oh,
Stretch Dude
like
is a
now?
frog. Sorry?
I can have one now?
Well, so Stretch Dude is a frog, so Stretch
Yeah.
doesn't get this benefit.
What? Damn it. Oh.
Indeed.
Okay.
Neil, how about you?
Little Jimmy is going to become a warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we
Let's
roll
take a look.
hit points now?
Pretty sure we already rolled those.
Yeah, we
You
did
don't-
that at the end.
Pretty sure you rolled a 1.
That sounds right.
I'm
Yep.
I'm looking back up in the chat. And I'm
Yep.
seeing it.
Yep. The D6?
Yeah, so warriors have weapon training in battle axe, club, crossbow, dagger, dart, flail, hand axe, javelin, lance, longbow, longsword, mace, polearm, short bow, short sword, sling, spear, staff, two-handed sword, and warhammer. And you wear whatever armor you can afford. The key thing about warriors is that you don't have an attack bonus and a fixed attack modifier. Instead, you have a random modifier known as a deed die.
Ooh.
At first level, this is a D3, so every time you make an attack, you will roll 1d20 plus 1d3.
And the D3 gets added to hit and damage, it looks like.
Yes.
Ooh, lovely.
Cool.
Let's see, I also have
And then-
Mighty Deeds of Arms, where I can try to knock people prone or disarm them or something.
Yep, exactly. So if you both hit with your attack and your deed die is a 3 or higher, then the deed succeeds and you achieve what you wanted to achieve. There's like a bunch of extra suggested Mighty Deeds of Arms on page 88, but deeds is like your freeform way to come up with creative solutions for combat and make them try to happen.
Love it.
Rachel, what character are you wanting to level up?
Ooh, I have. Let's talk about Agnes. Agnes is
Cool.
becoming a wizard.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And-
want to follow along with this because Babs is becoming a wizard, and Babs is the one I want to bring.
Okay,
Amazing.
cool. Then for you, Anna, I'll tell you the spells begin somewhere on page like 130.
I found that. I was looking at the spells.
Yeah, so wizards get
Took me a
dagger,
minute.
longbow, longsword, short bow, short sword, and staff. And wizards rarely wear armor because you apply the armor check penalty to your spell casting. Wizards don't like that.
Well, Agnes is well accustomed to standing way far back from the fight, so I'm gonna give her the longbow in this situation.
Yeah. Now you don't have one yet, do you?
I don't. I'm gonna hopefully acquire a longbow. I guess I'll say.
Totally. I think it's entirely plausible. Now, Jen, talking about, Anna, talking about Fran. Are you ready to continue?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So let's talk about two-weapon fighting for a rogue. Rogues are masters at two-weapon fighting as follows. Normally, two-weapon fighting depends on the character's agility to be effective, so a character needs pretty high agility. But a rogue is always considered to have a minimum agility of 16 when fighting with two weapons. This means that you will always roll at -1 for both your first and second attack based on the dice chain. So typically, you will roll 1d16 for your first attack and 1d16 for your second attack. You can fight with two equal-sized one-handed weapons, such as two hand axes or two short swords. You don't need a smaller weapon in your offhand. And unlike other characters, when fighting with two weapons, a rogue scores a crit and an automatic hit on any roll of a natural 16. So like other characters wielding two-handed would not automatically hit on a natural 16, but you do. If Fran, by some miracle, has an agility score higher than 16, you will use that value instead. So like the minimum here is 16 for you, not doesn't replace. And then when fighting with two weapons, you will fumble only when both dice come up as a 1.
I think I'm still having trouble understanding that first bullet point about like rolling at -1.
Yeah, let's take a look at page 94, 95 and see what that looks like as well. 93, 94, 95. Yeah, here we go. So on book page 94, which is PDF page 97, you'll see that, right, yeah. So there's the dice chain where like you've got a D20 and one step up is a D24 and one step down is a D16. If you have an agility of 16 or 17, your primary hand die is down one step on the dice chain. So your D20 becomes a D16, and your offhand die is down one step on the dice chain. So your D20 becomes a D16. So
I see. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
It's basically just you'll be attacking twice and you'll roll a D16 each time.
Okay. I'm going to write it in those terms on my sheet just to make sure I don't.
Let's see what else for a rogue. Yep, 2-weapon fighting. You also get a bonus to stealth. Let's take a look at that. Click and drag. Yes, so you have a +3 to sneak and hide. And you can record that on your character sheet at the bottom. There's a space for your 3.
So where it says stealth, I do +3?
Exactly.
Cool.
Most characters get no skills at all and have no benefit to rolling for stealth, but you will be doing that at a +3.
Cool.
You are also a good luck charm. So the way that this works is luck is special for rogues. And rogues are notoriously lucky. You gain additional bonuses when you spend luck as follows. First, when you burn a point of luck, you don't add +1 to your roll, you add +2 to your roll. Second,
Oh, okay.
you will recover luck every night. You'll recover a number of points equal to your level, and you can't go past your natural maximum, so this isn't going to increase your maximum luck. Third, you can spend luck to help your allies, which not everybody can do. The ally has to be nearby, has to be visible to you. You can act at any time, not only on your turn, to burn luck. Yep.
When I burn luck, I get 2 points
Yes.
instead of 1. Okay, cool. That's nice.
Yeah, and there's an additional note here that good luck charm applies only to having one halfling in the party, so only one rogue in the party. So if we're ever in a situation where we've got multiple rogues, we'll have to choose which one is giving the benefit to the party of good luck charm. But
Okay,
for right now, I don't think it's a problem.
gotcha.
And then, Anna, we're going to look down at table 1-18, which is on page 62. And you'll just have to record your attack bonus, that +1, your crit die and crit table, your action dice, and then your reflex, fortitude, and will bonuses.
And do those go on, like on the character sheet proper, or are those some things I'm putting in notes?
Yeah, they go on your character sheet proper. So, for
Okay.
example, in the box marked Combat Basics, where your initiative and action dice are,
Mm-hmm.
you can see attack, and that's where you'll put the attack bonus right there.
Gotcha.
Crit die and crit table, you will update there from the drop down for crit die and then crit table. And then in the upper right hand corner, you've got reflex, fortitude, and willpower. You'll just put 1 in all 3 of those boxes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I think that is it for Fran the Horse Lady. Who wants to be next in line for going through more of their character?
I can do it. I'm almost
All
done. So I did everything following the Anna steps except
Yeah.
the spells.
Awesome.
So I did all the reflex, fortitude, whatever.
Now then, let me see. Let me grab my
I'm gonna judge my leveling.
PDF in the PDF.
Alright.
form. So chapter 5 magic. Yeah, this is a more complicated process for a magic user. Now you're leveling up who?
Stretch today, he has 3 spell slots open.
Amazing. Has he filled one of them?
No, I need to figure out where to get the spells from. I was looking for the page
Oh right,
for
sorry.
spells.
Stretch is a
Spell sword. It's an elf, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So I get 3, and one of them gets my applied luck bonus, which gives it an extra 1 point.
Yes.
But also, I had the bird ogre that made me lucky with missile fire, but I don't think that's for spells. I think that's for darts, right?
Correct. Yes, that's for bows
Okay.
and darts. So if you take a look, let's see. There's a page that actually lists all of the wizard spells. So
But I think it said somewhere that I get assigned them randomly.
you do. So
So
page
it's
one-
gonna be fast then.
Page 127, aka page 130 in PDF, has a list of all spells.
So I'm gonna roll for it? You're gonna
Yes.
tell me? Okay.
So roll 1d27.
So exciting!
Is that because Stretch is chaotic that you're rolling for it?
No,
No, he's
wizards-
lawful.
Oh,
Wizards, when they begin, they don't like you've sort of cobbled together a collection of random pieces of wizardly knowledge. You don't have like control over your. Oh, you rolled in the Zoom chat.
The shame. I got 15. We're good.
15 is the spell. You actually already have this spell, so roll again.
Oh,
That's the spell Invoke Patron. 10. Enlarge.
large.
Yeah, so first of all, just write this down right now,
Yeah.
and then we'll roll 2 more times.
Yeah.
You can choose to replace one of those 3 spells.
Ooh.
24 is Spider Climb.
I'll call it Froge Climb, but yes.
Absolutely. And roll again. 23 Sleep.
wow, you picked all the ones that I intentionally wanted to choose for my wizard, so I'm excited to see what I'll roll now.
So, do you want
Hmm.
to swap any of those?
Do you guys have an opinion?
How does find familiar work is the only question I had. Is that a spell that you have to take up to be able to find a animal
Yes.
familiar? Okay.
Yep. You have to take the spell Find Familiar in order to be able to find an animal familiar. So one of the things that Stretch doesn't have right now is he doesn't have like a combat spell. Now in the old school structure of like Dungeons and Dragons type games, wizards are like specialized problem solvers who every once in a while they just get to make a problem disappear. So like Stretch has a bunch of stuff to do that, but if you want, you could say like, no, I want Chill Touch, or no, I want Flaming Hands, or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I think I would actually, while I do love that spell, I think I would remove Sleep, because I see a lot of use for Spider Climb and Large.
Okay.
And Sleep is not as fun in general.
Which spell are you going to take to replace Sleep?
There's
There's always the classic Magic Missile.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at the list now. Maybe you could get to somebody else and I'll just think
Cool.
for a
Read through
second.
the list.
Yeah.
As
Fantastic.
a wizard, should I do the same for rolls?
Yeah, let's do it. So, hang on. What character are you leveling up, Rachel?
This is for Agnes, the wizard.
Agnes, let's double check your intelligence. 15. 1. That might mean that you have extra spell slots.
Whoa.
Let's double check that. So let's see. In the classes, wizard, on the chart. Oh wait, magic. A wizard knows a number of spells on table 1-12 modified by her intelligence score. So you've got a +1, which means you don't know 4 spells, you know 5 spells.
Oh, baby.
So, awesome. Wizard spells are determined randomly, and then you can choose to replace up to half of them. So on page 127, let's go ahead and roll. Look at that, 7, 4, 10, 23, and 9. Do you want to tell us what they are?
Yes, getting down to page 130 again. They are number 7, comprehend languages. Number 4, chill touch. Ooh, and number 10 is enlarge. Yes. 23 is sleep. Awesome. Good calls. And number 9 is Ekim's mystical mask, which looks pretty interesting, actually.
Cool. So, of those 5 spells, you may, at your choice, replace up to 2 of them.
Oh, I'm
Shouldn't-
dropping. Go ahead.
Shouldn't both get enlarged though? If you keep enlarged, maybe I'll drop enlarge and.
Girl, I'm keeping enlarge.
No. Okay.
There's
then
nothing wrong. We can.
It's-
It doesn't stack. I did read that, but there's nothing wrong with having 2 huge things on a team.
Yeah, well, I could keep sleep. I don't mind. I'll keep sleep and spider climb then, but I still don't know which one I'll pick an extra.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna drop languages or maybe I'll drop sleep if you have sleep, and I'll pick up find familiar.
Cool.
I'm also rolling spells for Babs, so maybe I should do that too while we're all on the subject of spells.
Absolutely.
Good
What
idea.
Babs is also a wizard?
Yes, and
what?
Babs has
Intelligence?
13 intelligence, so +1, so she would get 5 spells as well.
Absolutely. So roll 5d27. Do you have the book open to the page?
I am on the wizard table, but I'm scrolling to
Page
the spells.
PDF page 130.
There's a lot of spells I've never used before, like rope work is awesome.
The spells
There we
in DCC are absolutely wild.
Yeah.
All right, so spell 20 is read magic.
Convenient.
Spell 9 is Ekim's mystical mask, which Rachel
Awesome.
already had. Spell 12 is find familiar. I'm into that. Spell 8 is detect magic. I like that too. And spell 6 is color spray.
Ooh.
That's nice.
That sounds
Super
Babsy.
cool.
I'm
And
gonna have
so,
to look these up.
Anna, you can replace up to 2 of them with any you want. And because you are in possession of a certain ring, you can actually replace a third if you so choose. Specifically
Cool.
with Magic Missile.
I can replace it only with magic missile.
Yes, Magic Missile is a spell that you can easily say that you know because you've cast it.
Okay.
Do you have recommendations for a spell? I do think an attack spell would be smart, considering I got 2 support spells. You said magic missile, but do you have other ideas?
I mean, beyond like these spells are the damaging spells, you know, Chill Touch, Choking Cloud, Color Spray, Flaming Hand, this Magic Missile. Beyond that, I don't actually.
What's
also,
choking
consider it-
cloud?
I consider it my duty as the GM to throw challenges to you that are interesting for you to encounter. So, like, you know.
So choking cloud. Is there an equivalent in 5th edition?
I'm not actually sure.
It's-
134, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. So like the basic success is that like one target is engulfed in a caustic stinking cloud, suffering a -1 penalty to all their rolls. Strong success, they take points of damage every round for like 1d4 + 2 rounds. For like when you start burning stats and you're able to boost the spell cast up really high, it starts doing massive damage every round for like 20 rounds in a row.
Yes, I think I'll do magic missile or that. I'm kind of just hesitating.
Okay. Is there any other character that we want to take a look at while the three of you are looking at spells?
Yeah, I had originally said I was going to do one warrior and one rogue, but looking at our party composition, I think I want to do them both as warriors.
Okay.
Now, I rolled HP for the rogue last time, which was a D6, and I got a 4, and I'm happy to keep that 4, but I don't know if you want me to re-roll it as a D12. I'm a little afraid I'll get less than 4 on a D12.
I'll tell you what, let's roll a d12, and if it's less than or equal to 4, you just keep the 4.
Okay, you're a very kind and generous DM.
Neil would never have done that.
Look at that. It's also because his other warrior has 3 hit points.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So little Jimmy, my short bow warrior, has 10 hit points, and Sky, my short sword warrior, has 3 hit points. This sort of worked
Now,
out.
of course, for the warrior, it's a much simpler leveling up process. In fact, we're not done with wizards yet because we've got to establish your mercurial magic effects. We'll get to that in just a second. But looking at the warrior, if you take a look at the table 110 on book page 44, PDF page 47, you'll see that you've got a 1d3 deed die, your crit die is d12, and your table is 3. Your threat range is 19 to 20, which means if you hit a natural 19 or 20, you crit, which is great. Action die is d20, reflex and fortitude +1, will +0. So go ahead, note all of that down.
It has been filled out.
Fantastic. And are both Sky and Little Jimmy, are they both human?
They're both human. Yes. I don't know where that is on my character sheet, but I'm pretty sure they're human.
I think it's actually under your attributes and abilities tab.
Aha.
And then if you scroll down, heritage human.
Yes. Yes, they're both human.
Cool.
All right, I picked.
Which did you pick?
I made my chat help me between the two. We went with Choking Cloud. I'm not surprised.
Nice.
They think like they were like, magic missile. We all know that one. You should try the other
We've
one.
seen that spell.
That's
All
true.
right. Then Jen, we'll start with you. I need you to roll. So you've got all 5 of your spells, right? And they're all listed in order?
Yeah, and I added my bonus to Choking Cloud because we're doubling down on that one.
Killer. Very cool. Let's see. And this is for Growlobless?
No, it's for Stretch Jude. Stretch Jude, the Wanderer Spellsword frog that somehow, because it's a frog, doesn't get mithril armor.
It's because he's not an elf, but because you're a frog, you do get... What did I write for that? Let's see.
So I get a special frog thing.
Yeah, you are quick. So because you have long legs and powerful muscles, you move more quickly than many. A frog has a base movement speed of 35 as opposed to 35.
Oh, I'll change it then.
Yeah.
Nice.
You generally only get your species abilities when you hit level 1.
Okay.
So the fact that you have it now is on point. You are a grappler, which means that you have textured palms that make you excellent at keeping hold of things. If a critical hit or a fumble result would result in being disarmed, a frog can burn 1 luck to keep their weapon. Additionally, when making grapple checks, a frog always increases the size of their die by 1 step. And tertiarily, number 3, you're amphibious. You can hold your breath for up to 5 minutes, and you can swim at your normal speed underwater. There you go. Now then, I need you to roll 1d100 5 times, or 5d100.
Why?
This is for mercurial magic. So the thing about magic in Dungeon Crawl Classics is that spells never work the same way for 2 different wizards. They're always different. And this is the roll that determines how.
I got 95 on the first one.
Fantastic. That's a psychic focus. Casting the spell clears the caster's mind and prepares him to channel further energy for 1d4 rounds. After the spell is
la porte. Oh, sorry.
Amazing.
The cat speaks French.
Sorry, that was a risky Twitch moment.
We're gonna be on live stream fails.
Yeah, because the cat wanted to enter, but the restroom is redlined.
So yes, for 1d4 rounds after this spell is cast, you receive a +4 bonus to other spell checks. This effect does not stack with itself. So this is your effect on Patron Bond, which isn't great because you're only going to cast that like once. But hey, number 70. So incidentally,
Wait, so where do I write that? How?
You're going to want to look starting on page book page 111, PDF page 114, Jen,
Yeah.
is the 1d100 table of mercurial magic. And you'll see this list of spells has to the right of it a column for mercurial effect and notes.
Yeah.
You can just copy those lines and put it in the mercurial effect and notes category there.
Mercurial effects and notes? Oh, I
Yeah.
see it. Yeah. Okay, so for my first spell, I picked the first one I rolled.
Yep.
So 95. Okay, and then I
Psychic
copy that. Psychic focus. I put it in Patron Bond. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll learn about that later. Okay, and the second one is 70.
Let's scroll up. 70.
I think.
Temporal Echo. Each time the wizard casts this spell, he predicts the numerical result of his spell check roll. If he rolls this number exactly, the spell automatically recasts itself
Ooh.
each round for 1d3 rounds.
Damn. And
The
I have
predicted
that on.
result must be a successful spell check. Predicting a failed result has no effect.
So I'm getting. It would be on temporal. It would be on my invoke patron.
Yes.
Okay.
And now roll again.
God, there's so many pages.
Yeah, I
Roll.
added like 3 or 4 tabs to try to keep track of all these pages.
Yep.
63.
Let's see. Diurnal or nocturnal magic. This spell's power is tied to either night or day. During the ascendant period, the wizard rolls 1d24 for spell checks. During the descendant hours, he rolls 1d16. So it's your choice. Do you want night or day?
And it's for choking cloud. How great.
Awesome.
What's more like a frog? Is a frog a daytime or a nighttime?
I think there are many frogs that are both active during the day and active during the night. We could flip a coin.
Let's flip a coin.
If
Well,
we're
one-
somewhere like the Starless Sea, does that count as like, if we can't tell, do we know if it's night or do we just kind of flip for
They're
it?
like magic knows.
Ugh.
Now, if we're talking about like we're on another dimension where there's neither night nor day or something like that, then it gets fuzzy. But if you're just inside and can't tell, magic knows.
Right, so I'm rolling.
Yeah, 1d2.
So which one is day, which one is night? I get day is
one
one.
is day, 2 is night.
Okay. It's day.
Daytime spell.
All right. It'll be called daytime choking cloud then.
Cool. Give me
Okay.
2 more 1d100s.
Yep. Just roll them both. 20 and 69.
20, rush of wind. A great rush of wind occurs every time the spell is cast, originating from the caster towards his target. Torches flicker and may go out at a 50% chance.
So every time I make people sleep, there's a little rush of wind happening.
And then 69, skeletal caster. The wizard's skin and internal organs become transparent for 1d4 rounds after casting the spell, making him appear as a clothed skeleton. Although likely to be mistaken as an undead, the wizard also enjoys a +2 bonus to his AC against missile attacks.
Interesting. For spider climb.
First,
Ooh, you become like a climbing creepy skeleton.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No.
With extra AC.
Ooh, and you're like one of those glass frogs. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen those? You can see through.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. This is cool. I like this spin on spells.
yeah.
Very cool.
And Agnes and or Babs, are either of you ready to roll for mercurial magic?
I am not ready. Are you, Rachel?
Yeah, I can do this. This is 5 on the 100 piece table.
Well, real quick, Agnes, I'm adding at the bottom of your character sheet 5 slots for your spell name. So let's
Oh,
put the
excellent.
spells in there first.
The bottom. Oh, I see now. Got it. So. Comprehend languages, chill touch. We've got enlarge. Is find familiar? I cast that once. Sorry, I was trying to read the language of the spell. I cast that once and I get my familiar, and then it's kind of a dead spell slot.
Let's double check. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I was looking at that one too. It seems like it's like a pretty powerful thing that you can only, it says once every full moon, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like, does my guy leave and I get a new one?
Oh, very interesting. Let's see. There is extra judges information on page 316. So I'll have to read about this to see exactly what it is. But it probably is like you cast it once and then, oh yeah, totally. There's like an entire step-by-step process for like
Oh, perfect.
putting different familiars that have different like cool things about them and stuff. It's neat.
That's 173?
Or
Or that's only you have that?
the special DM's chapter.
I see.
So go ahead and roll 5d100. All right. 10, 5, 61, 42, and 28. So 10. For comprehend languages, this is a blood magic spell. The power of the spell is partially drawn from spilled blood, a sacrifice to the unknowable lords of magic. A living creature with hit points equal to or greater than the spell's level must be offered up before the spell is cast.
Whoa.
Otherwise, the spell check suffers a -4 penalty or patron taint, the judge's choice. The creature need not be sentient. Chickens, goats, and other simple animals with the proper amount of hit points will suffice.
Wait, what are they saying? I'm like, hold on. Kill a rat. Like,
We can find this out.
awesome. That's going to be dope. 5 for chill touch.
Difficult to cast. Instead of rolling a normal as normal on a spell check, the wizard rolls a reduced die based on the dice roll, i.e. a d20 becomes a d16.
That's it? There's nothing good?
That's it. It's just harder to cast. You just don't
It's
know
just
this
tougher.
spell really well.
Oh.
Man, I'm so glad I didn't roll a 1 at great cost.
Right, yeah, wow, Jesus. For enlarge, you got what?
Large 61 is, I have to shout it?
Large!
Loud enough for you? Due to the ineffable demands of magic, this spell must be shouted when cast, effectively negating any chance of the caster remaining undetected before the casting is completed. Oh, that would have been so great for comprehend languages.
I kind of love it. I hope that every time you do it, you physically shout it, though.
Yes.
It's in large, so I will. It'll be like, enlarge! Dynamax! There we go.
And for find familiar, there's no change.
Oh, what?
There's just nothing special about it.
42. Wow, look at that. All right, that's a sweet zone. And then number 28 for Ekim's magical mask, I have two odd growths. Strange growths appear in the immediate area wherever the spell is cast. Ooh, well, it hides that, so that's kind of like a...
Fantastic.
This is fun. I'm so excited.
Awesome. And Anna, are you ready to roll mercurial effects?
Yeah, I think so. I'm debating between cantrip and magic shield. So I was just going to look up magic shield real fast.
Cool.
Because I feel like a shield gives me a better chance of keeping Babs around, but cantrip also seems very Babsy.
Cantrip
spells-
is like very clever, like creatively useful.
Yeah, and it's a little random too, it seems like. So the two that I'm keeping that I rolled are detect magic and color spray.
Cool.
And then I have 3 that I can mess with. So I am going to take the magic missile. I think that would, be helpful. And then I have charm person and cantrip, because I feel like charm person is a Babsy thing where she would like just want to talk her way out of something and be like, chill, man. But I'm worried that none of these are like protective spells. So I think maybe I will go magic shield instead of cantrip, and maybe I'll take cantrip later.
Nice.
So now I'm ready.
this is a touch spell, so I think... Right, you can actually cast this on allies as well.
Seems good.
Shield. Killer. Then give me that 5d100, and after we go through this, we'll take our first 5-minute break, and we'll come back. And I think we're about ready to move on and see some little more action. So.
And sorry, where is this table?
85. The table starts on page. Oh wait.
114 on the PDF.
Thank you.
114 PDF. Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, so for Magic Missile, I rolled 36, which on this table, is that good?
Demonic voice.
Oh, whoa. The words of the spell are in a demonic tongue unknown to mortals. A demon is compelled or allowed to speak the spell through the wizard's own throat. The strain of channeling the unnatural voice leaves the wizard unable to speak for 1d4 rounds after the spell has been cast.
Amazing.
Damn, that's pretty cool though.
So shouted by demon, can't talk 1d4 rounds. Cool. Charm person, I rolled 85, and that is Psychic Shield. In the round immediately following the casting of this spell, the wizard gains a +2 bonus to AC and any will saves, as they are encased in a protective barrier of psychic energy. It disperses the following rounds. So I got an extra shield anyway.
Yeah.
It's for which spell?
That was for Charm Person. So
it's pretty sick.
yeah, it's interesting though, because Charm Person generally is like a remove threat kind of spell. So having a shield after Charm Person isn't really as helpful as it could be on another spell, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's
So
better than
+2
nothing.
bonus
though.
to AC and will in the following turn. All right, and then 70 for Magic Shield
We've seen this.
is Temporal Echo. Each time the wizard casts this spell, they predict the numerical result of the spell check roll. If they roll this number
Nice.
exactly, the spell automatically recasts itself each round for 1d3 rounds. The
That's
predicted result must be a successful spell check. Predicting a failed result has no effect. This is so cool, and I will never get it because I am not lucky like that. But that's cool.
It's basically, like, you know, if you have to succeed on a 10+, then really you're only guessing like 10 to 20. You got a 1 in 10 chance, but
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll see how likely that is.
I got the same, right? I got that too. Like, is it really applicable for me? Because I got it on Invoke Patron.
Right. So that's not really gonna do anything for you, except maybe annoy your patron.
No.
All right. So for Detect Magic, I got 95, which is Psychic Focus. Casting this spell clears the caster's mind and prepares them to channel further energy. For 1d4 rounds after the spell is cast, the wizard receives a +4 bonus to other spell checks. This effect does not stack with itself. So 1d4 rounds +4 bonus to spell checks.
Yeah, that Jen also got that one. There's clearly some like shared learning of magic going on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, we went through a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
That makes
There's
sense.
716 wizard spells, and these are the only ones we could figure.
Focus is what it's called.
I do have one question for clerics. Do I get to pick the spells, or is it also rolled?
Clerics, I think, are slightly different. Let's just double check. Spells known for.
Building these characters this way gets me so hyped to use them.
No, me too. I'm so hyped. Like, cleric is awesome.
Cleric is
It's
super
really cool.
I have one last mercurial effect whenever we're ready.
Yeah. Tell
Oh,
us about
sorry.
For color spray, it's material magic. So I have to have a spell component that the judge chooses based on the power of the spell. So what do I
Yep.
have to have?
You have to burn a gemstone that is itself worth at least 10 gold pieces.
Jeez.
That's expensive.
Must burn 10 GP, you said?
Mm-hmm. Now, fortunately, interestingly enough, Babs has those.
Oh yeah, did I pick them up in the cave?
They're from the frog fountain.
The bills.
Oh yeah, 12
Precious
semi-precious
stones.
frog fountain stones.
Yeah.
Nice.
Grola Blast doesn't think you should burn them. Because Grola Blast, I have an announcement. I did Grola Blast on my own, and Grola Blast, I rolled that he's a chaotic, and he worship a chaotic deity then, and I have chosen that he worships bills.
Naturally.
Yep. Naturally.
That's a steep price for color spray.
Yes. Yeah. That's kind of a shame.
Yeah.
There you have it. Let's see. I don't see anything about how to determine known spells by clerics.
Yes, same, and it's really strange because there's the cleric spells, but there's also the patron spells, and it doesn't really tell me. Oh, okay, I get the patron spells. So the patron spells are for invoke patron results.
Yes.
So I'm gonna get, for example, with Bills, level 1, tadpole transformation, whatever that means.
Exactly. Now, I do see that there is a table of cleric spells, but maybe while we go on our 5-minute break, chat can tell us if they know anything specific about how clerics know spells in DCC, and if there's a page number associated, we can look it up. I don't see anything on the cleric page or in the magic chapter, so like maybe the text is just small, which it is. Or maybe like the god tells us something about it. I don't see anything there, but we'll figure it out, and if not, then we'll just do the same thing, like, roll 4 and then replace up to 2. So with that, I think we're ready for a short break. So go stretch your legs, get yourselves a glass of water, have a little snack, and we'll kick things off when we get started.
Whew.